By the time this show releases, you will have seen the Jordan brand video, the commercial for the Band One. Before I get into the whole rollout marketing, I'm about to just go ahead and attack this commercial head on. So, um, like I said, by the time you see this, I'm not violating any embargo or whatever. So, I feel like I kind of got to give the background. Okay, real quick, simple background. Got reached out to by people at Jordan Brand. Hey, we got this video we want to promote. We want you guys to help push this. Da da da. Was under embargo until today, and this evening I think they're going to release it around like 7:00 p.m. today. Anyway, the video is basically predicated on the idea of the legend of the Air Jordan 1 is that Nike paid the fee or the fine by the NBA and yada, yada, yada,
Right.
Air Jordan 1. The video is predicated on the idea that what if Nike said no to paying the fine? Right? Here's my problem. This is before we get into the whole rollout in itself. Just talking strictly about this video. That video is such bullshit. It's such bullshit. Here's why it's bullshit. How can you make a hypothetical off of something that never fucking happened? Okay, so the idea is Nike paid for it, but let's pretend that if Nike didn't. Nike didn't. This whole legend of Nike paying the fee, they make it sound like they paid millions of dollars so that Michael Jordan can go out there and make go out there and continue wearing the shoes.
False.
When he got fined, or when he got sent that letter, Nike immediately pivoted to the white and red airship until they could come up with a white and red the black toe and the Chicago ones. That's why you don't see Michael Jordan wearing them in games. You only see Michael Jordan wearing the black and red ones in promo pics and during All-Star weekend where it's more relaxed, right? Because he damn near did the first couple rounds in the dunk contest in street clothes, right? So this idea that Nike paid the fines, that sounds good. That's part of the legend. It's not fucking true. As a matter of fact, internally, they will acknowledge that they didn't pay for it. Publicly, they're not going to acknowledge it because it works too good for the marketing, right? It sounds too good, like, oh man, we just believed in Michael Jordan and we just knew he was going to turn out to be this, that, or whatever. So we went on ahead and paid the fines and bing, bang, boom, 30 years later, 40 years later, Jordan Brand. No, that's not true. So to me, on its face, let's pretend Nike didn't pay the fines when in reality they didn't pay the fines makes fucking no sense. Furthermore, it is the most annoying fucking video. You got DJ Khaled's fat ass on a fucking jet ski. They got him doing that stupid shit. They got a bunch of people, and like it's so stupid. And I'm trying. Honestly, this is the nicest I'm trying to be nice. First of all, Jordan, he's on there and he's like, "Oh, this is the greatest marketing I've ever seen." Oh, they banned the shoe on the statue in Chicago. Oh, they deleted their social media. Ooh, man, how courageous. Ooh, man, I just took so much risk. As if Jordan Brand can't. First of all, they didn't delete it. They just probably, what can you do? You can just deactivate it and then reactivate it. Like, so it's not like they lost anything. And it's Jordan Brand. It's not like they can't come back and get like 1 million followers tomorrow. But that's beside the point. He's just gushing over this fucking rollout. So I left a comment on his Instagram where I'm like, this is an example of industry types like him sniffing their own farts and enjoying the smell. And it just fucking, if you watch him and other industry people, it's just everybody's just jacking each other off.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
But that's all it is. It's this one big circle jerk where they're impressed with their own shit. And it's fucking annoying because it's like, my question from the get-go is, who is this rollout for? Right? Who is it for when you only make 10,000 pairs that are going to be spread across 23 stores? And let's keep it real. Those shit's getting backdoored almost fucking immediately, which then begs the question, why are you doing all this heavy marketing for a shoe that is never going to touch the general public? On top of that, this is a shoe that comes inherent with hype. It's a black and red one. They could have did zero marketing and it would have been hyped to death anyway. Yeah. So this idea that they're doing, like they're adding something to this, is disingenuous and complete bullshit. Like, it's not adding anything but frustration, because all you're doing is rubbing it into people's faces. Because for some reason, some jackass at Jordan Brand said, hey, you know what? We got to manufacture hype in order for people to like us again, or for us to have the cachet that we used to have, which is just, they become so reactionary that they don't know what to fucking do. They don't. It's like they overreact to an overreaction. Like, the overreaction is a few dumbasses on social media are like, oh, shoes are sitting, I don't want them no more. Okay, cool. So now we're going to limit the fuck out of shit. So and it was like, who are you? Okay, but who is this for though? Because these kids don't give a fuck. Like, these are the same kids that fucking wrote your obituary when Yeezy came out. Oh. So they don't give a fuck about you. You making us not give a fuck about you because you keep alienating us to reach them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just, who is this rollout for? Who are you marketing this to? Because, like, I would like to think, when you are thinking up a marketing campaign, first question you should ask is, who are we trying to target with this?
Who's your target audience?
But it's like, if we can't get the hands on the shoe, I don't give a fuck about the marketing. I don't give a fuck about your storytelling. And once again, storytelling wise, you spent decades not even telling your own story, to the point where people in the community had to tell your story, i.e. the airships, right? You didn't tell that story. MJR 23 Dan did, and other people told that story. So now you feel obligated to drop the airships, right? Still didn't do anything push behind it, right? Even when the community did the heavy lifting with the storytelling, your lazy asses couldn't be bothered to fucking do any more storytelling on that. But now all of a sudden, you want to go just balls to the wall with this shoe? The shoe wasn't even banned. Let's start there. The Air Jordan 1 was never banned. It was the airship. He was wearing airships when the NBA sent that letter. Look, genius on y'all to roll in 1985 to roll that into the marketing. But now, when everybody knows better, when we know that shoe wasn't banned, we know that Nike didn't pay the fine. So all of this legend-making bullshit that they're trying to do retroactively is annoying, it's disingenuous, it's overkill, and then, quite frankly, it's pissing me off, because it's like, to me, it's like they care more about DJ Khaled getting this pair than the actual fans. And so when you got that type of disconnect, there's no wonder why y'all fucking gotta feel like you gotta drop every fucking noteworthy Jordan ever made in one calendar year. Oh, who's done more to destroy the mystique of the Jordan 1 than that Jordan Brand? And you know what? Before you even comment, I want to look at the camera. I want to give somebody an apology. Cool Kai, I apologize.
Oh, wow.
I apologize to you. You know why? Fuck Jordan Brand. Wow. Because if they're not going to, listen, if they're going to sit up there and bullshit on the shoes that we want, and they're going to do all this, anybody trying to jump through hoops to pay for a shoe? To pay? You already charged me $250, and now I got to jump through hoops to pay for it? I ain't jumping through hoops to go to work. You think I'm about to jump through hoops to give you money? To give you my money? No, that's the Cool Kai, I apologize. You had the blueprint. I take back everything I said.
Wow.
You know, because here's the thing. If they're not willing to give the people what they want, I don't blame nobody for going on any other path to get what they want. You're not gonna give me a Jordan 1? Okay, cool. I'm gonna get it from Kai or whoever the fuck else is making these knockoff ones.
What I find interesting is how we get right back, like we almost went around in a circle with the whole banned Jordan 1 thing, when just, was it like 3 years ago, when they finally did come out with the airship, and they talked about how they basically acknowledged, like, this was the actual shoe that was banned.
So why are we still calling these banned?
I'm like completely lost when it comes to that. Like that, like I've never... How do I want to say it? It's almost like when you in school and you know African American history, but you got somebody else trying to tell you what actually happened.
Yeah.
that's what it feels like. It's like, wait a minute, like, but we already know, like, this wasn't that shoe.
Yeah.
You just told us a couple years ago that you finally are acknowledging, like, yeah, we've been kind of keeping a little secret and we didn't really want to put it out there, but this is the actual shoe that was banned. Now we reverse course only a couple years later to, well, yeah, we're coming out with the banned one. It's like, but the shoe wasn't banned. Secondly,
real quick, it's like a kid that like finally realizes that Santa Claus ain't real, but the parents are still trying to convince him that he's going to come and bring gifts. It's like, you're trying to convince us of shit that we already know is bullshit. Like, so it's like, once again, who is this marketing campaign for?
Well, and that's my thing is I'm trying to find like the logic and the rationale behind it. You got rid of all of those jobs just last year. Got rid of all of those people, but yeah, you putting money behind a marketing campaign. Granted, the type of market, you've never done this type of marketing in years where you've really put like a full, like, pressed your foot on the gas and it just went all in
for a shoe that's only 10,000 pairs available.
And I'm like, just what sense does that make? Like, that's where I'm completely confused, because it's like, well, the marketing dollars that you're using for this, you could have used that. I mean, it could have been used in so many different other ways. Like, if you was going to market anything, what you could have did is the Reimagine collection. You should have put some money behind that, because that's something that's quote unquote brand new and something that people probably would have been like, that you actually could have limited and said, well, hey, yeah, this is the what if we had done this, type of pack. And you didn't do that. But why are you putting all of this effort into one shoe that, again,
sells itself,
and you're only gonna have so many pairs now, unless throughout the year, I don't know, maybe the plan is throughout the year there's just gonna be random drops of black and red Jordan 1s, like on
at this
sneakers,
point. I feel like
anywhere.
that's giving them too much credit. Certain shoes don't need anything. Certain shoes in certain colorways, right? Chicago ones are going to sell regardless. Band ones are going to sell regardless. White cement threes, any
OG one, no matter the colorway,
they're going to sell. Like, so this, once again, this idea that, oh, we gotta create hype around this shoe for fucking what? First of all, but the fact that it's a band one and it's only 10,000 pairs, that's it. That's all you fucking need to do. You don't need to send some dork around campus fucking writing citations.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
That was the corniest,
that pissed me off,
stupidest fucking. Honestly, I'm ashamed of everybody involved in that. I had secondhand embarrassment watching people I know play along with that shit. That shit was fucking corny and stupid. I don't know who he has dirt on to where they gave him that level of autonomy with the marketing, but bruh, like, look, I just, it's so. Here's the thing about Jordan Brand that they need to realize, right? Is, and I mentioned it on last week's show. You can't name, and this is this. I want to make a distinction between Nike and Jordan Brand. You can't name me one thing that's not a retro that you're looking forward to from Jordan Brand. Not one.
Never.
Right? The problem is, Jordan Brand will forever be living in Michael Jordan's shadow. Right? Forever. The biggest thing that Jordan Brand will do and have ever done is Air Jordans themselves, the signature line. Right? And yeah, they might catch juice with the 34s and the 36s, but for the most part, nobody give a fuck about those 39s. You don't hear nobody thinking about the 40s. And you would think if they were going to do any level of marketing to push anything, it would be the fucking 40, since that's such a milestone shoe, right? Nope. Let's push a shoe that's already going to be hyped to death anyway, and then let's keep retelling the story that we know is complete bullshit, hoping that somebody's going to be gullible enough to fucking fall for it. But here's the thing, though. Even if they did fall for it, there's no product for them to buy because it's only 10,000 pairs across 23 stores.
You're further alienating yourself from your core audience.
Oh boy!
Like just when we thought hey, maybe they are taking some steps to be able to bring some people back into the fold.
Yeah.
With, we're finally dropping some product that people have been waiting for.
Yeah.
But it's like you took 10 steps forward just to take 35 of them backwards. like why?
Why? Because them, that's why.
The one thing I do find funny about it is the band one, when that one came out, they messed something up.
No, that was kind of clever because they dropped them. They didn't, that's back when they were actually release shit and I tell you.
But that's what I was gonna get to. Everything they're doing now, that would have been perfect for that.
Yeah.
Back then. If they would have did that, I would have been like, damn,
okay.
like that's like okay, you guys are crushing it. But it's like this shoe.
It's the rubbing it in people's faces that I think is just annoying me. And and I think too, they have it in their minds, and this is where I mean by disconnect. They have it in their minds. Well, if we limit this shoe and people aren't able to get this shoe, they're going to want to spend the $200 on something. So if we have other offerings like the because I think the Black Toes dropped like the next day or some shit. I think in their minds that the carryover is going to carry over to the, and I'm like, yo, there's too many other brands that are doing dope things right now. And it's the thing, like I mentioned earlier about jumping through hoops. People, if they got $200, I ain't got to jump through these hoops to go get that New Balance. I ain't got to jump through these hoops to get the AE1s. I ain't got to jump through hoops to get even other Nike products. So fuck those Black Toes